Outside insiders, so I'm just waiting for Billy Backdoor to come out the driveway. I've got a little card for him to have a look at. I call him Billy Backdoor because he never chooses to run the horrendous gauntlet of using the front door to actually have a chat with me. We'll see whether he waves hello this morning. Good morning, Billy Backdoor. Good morning, Billy. Great to see you. So there you are. There's the alternate Prime Minister of Australia arriving and departing their ABC at Southbank in the chauffeur-driven limo. I don't know if you know the Southbank area at all, but immediately outside the front door of their ABC is a tram stop. Now, if Billy Backdoor was in the least bit serious about his so-called commitment to the challenge of climate change, he might avail himself of public transport that's available right to the front door of their ABC, than swanning about in chauffeur-driven luxury. I did want to ask Billy Backdoor why it is that his ALP seems to attract so many thieves and misogynists and shonks. The former National ALP President, Michael Williamson, is in the slammer for stealing millions of dollars from low-paid hospital workers, members of what was then called the HSU. His buddy Craig Thompson was before the courts for stealing money from HSU members. New South Wales ALP stalwarts Eddie Obeid and Ian McDonald are in the slammer now for stealing money from the taxpayers of New South Wales, I believe. John Maitland, an associate of Ian McDonald's, is either before the courts or in jail for his involvement in the training mine issue, which netted John millions of dollars in profit. In Victoria, we've got Langwilla and Nardella, who have had to step aside from ministerial roles because they were rorting their expenses. Steve Herbert, who's getting his dogs chauffeured around in Victorian-funded vehicles. In South Australia, Ian Hunter called the Victorian minister the naughty C word. What is with these people? Billy Backdoor himself failed to disclose his $40,000 campaign contribution, which was revealed during the Trade Union Royal Commission, and he belatedly 8 years later got around to disclosing it. The deputy leader of the ALP, her spouse, who's a convicted heroin trafficker, for goodness sake. A former minister, tourism minister, John Brown, was before the courts in relation to his failure to disclose an approximately $1 million Gold Coast apartment which had been allegedly gifted to him by a developer. He didn't disclose it in his tax return. It may be that he didn't disclose it in parliamentary disclosure forms as well, but I'm not sure whether he had left Parliament at that stage. But he fought through the courts for years over the matter before, I believe, finally a settlement was achieved. The amount of tax involved in failing to disclose the $1 million apartment was something in the order of $450,000. Around the same time that John Brown was failing to disclose his $1 million gift apartment, a bloke named Philip Smiles in New South Wales was before the courts charged with falsely claiming payments to a nanny as being tax deductible. And from memory, the amount of tax involved in that issue was about $14,000. The tax office took him to court, but for $450,000, no prosecution action was taken in relation to John Brown. I've often wondered whether there was a double standard at play there. Perhaps we'll never know. Look at it. Google John Brown, Tourism Minister, tax case, and see if you can find the details. Why is it that the ALP attracts so many thieves and rogues and misogynists? I saw former Prime Minister Paul Keating outside the ABC a couple of months ago, and I took the opportunity to ask him whether he was managing to get his own tax returns in on time nowadays, apropos the revelations, I think in the 80s, that he was failing to get his own returns in on time when he was Treasurer of Australia, for goodness sake. And Paul suggested I go and bag my head for my trouble. It's one law for the little people and another law for the cream of the ALP crop. Some of them are in jail. It's arguable that perhaps some others ought to be there too. Bill Thompson for Outside Insiders.